What's up, YouTube? I'm just gonna explain why conspiracy dudes are fucking retarded. And I wrote down all the questions that he was saying. If anybody could disprove me or debunk this theory, then I'll give him $1,000. So I want my $1,000. That's the main point of this video. I want my $1,000. So this is called Why the Earth is Round. His first question was, if the Earth is round, at what altitude could you see the entire globe? This question actually doesn't disprove either theory. If the Earth was flat, you would not be able to see the other side. As I'll use this card as an example. This is the Earth. Let's just say it's flat. No matter how far away I put it from the camera, you'll never see the face of the card. Okay? You'll never see it. Same as the Earth. There's no way, no matter how far away you launch a shuttle or launch a satellite, you will never see the whole surface of the Earth at one time. Okay, so at what height would you see the curvature? This is question number 2. Now there's an equation for it right here. This is curvature equals 1 plus the height over the radius squared minus 1. Now, again, I'll give an example of what this is, so he doesn't hurt his head trying to figure out this equation. Okay, the curvature is the reciprocal of 2 curvature angular radius in a radians. A curvature of 1 appears as a circle of an angular radius of 45 degrees corresponding to the altitude of approximately 2,640 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Cool? Alright, next question. Number 3. The sides of the Earth. Okay, this question's kind of weird because first let me say how I interpret it, and then let me explain it how I'm gonna answer it as if I was thinking like him. So let's just say this is the Earth, all right? Round, let's just say it's obviously a bottle cap, so it has some flatness to it. But let's just say this is the Earth, okay? Now, if I were to draw lines on this, okay, and try to depict the sides, you would get this. These are the sides of the Earth. Which is weird because if I move it, that's a square. 2 different shapes. If I move the cap, it becomes a square. Doesn't that explain something to you? There are no sides to the planet because it's round, because it's a sphere, because it's a circle. No matter what you say, there's no sides to it. It's not a map. There's no fucking sides. There's no corners. There's no boundaries. It's forever going around. Okay. In the same question, he posed the idea, what are the most, in the question he's trying to ask, what's left, what's right? So I'm guessing he's trying to ask what is the most eastern or what is the most western point of the globe. And again, you can't answer that because, here's why. Here's a little diagram. Okay, this line right here represents the equator, right, which is 0 degrees, which is the center of the Earth. This right here is the prime meridian, which is the other center of the Earth. Now, going north will always be north because of the magnetic pull. Going south is always south because of the magnetic pull. So that's because of the equator. That's how we differentiate what's going north, what's going south. Now, for the prime meridian, it should be the same, right? Whatever's going west of the prime meridian is west. Whatever's going east is east. But the thing that changes everything is the Earth's rotation. Now, right here, let's just say this is the most western point or eastern point at one time. Okay? An hour later, the Earth has already moved 1,000 miles. So it's a new city already. So the most western and most eastern points are always changing. There's no way to prove what is which. Okay. Next question is, why is it 1,665 miles in the Atlantic Ocean shown to be leveled? What is this? I mean, like, what does that mean? Is someone taking a ruler out to the water and trying to measure the water to make sure the surface is completely leveled? You can't do that. There's no possible way to do that. So I don't know what that means. Like, and if you mean by going to the sea floor and measuring the floor level of it, you can't do that because of the fact that water pressure would crush anything you put down there. other than animals that have grown and evolved to that point where they live only down there. Now let's say, oh, what about a submarine? I mean, we could put that down there. No, you can't. It's because of the PSI level. It takes 20 to 30 PSI to actually cut titanium. So you're talking about the thousands of PSI pressure that is pushing all inwards towards one object. It's not going to crush it. Yeah, it is. The equivalent of going 10,000 feet down sea level is one man supporting 10 turbojets or an elephant balancing on a stamp. This is not possible. Okay? So the next question. Why is flight time the same traveling east as it is going west? Okay. The truth is it's a different the point is, the truth is, it does have effect. The effects are the centrifugal and the Coriolis effect, forces. But they only have a small effect, so it's really nothing. Next question. Airy's failed experiment. I'm about to take you at the Dark Ages by a man named Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein is the father of science. Not really the father of science, I don't want to say that, but the father of space-time. Space and time. Space and time, that's what he's the father of. Now, this kid came up with a conclusive explanation for the aberration of light. Now, the aberration of light is, Airy's failed experiment is basically this. The guy put water in a telescope, changed the degree angle of the telescope. The reason he did is that he was looking at one star. The star has light, and the light travels at the speed of light. It's the fastest thing anybody's ever known. Now, he used the water to actually slow down the light, which is possible. It actually, the atoms die and then commit photons, and the photons take time to recharge to die again to make more photons. So this process actually looks like it's slowing down, but what's interesting is that the last photon actually is identical to the first and still has the same speed. So it's like it's slowing down, but it's not really slowing down. It's like it died and started again. But the main point is that Airy's failed experiment was to prove that the Earth was moving, but he actually proved that the Earth was standing still. Albert Einstein explained why this experiment failed, and I'll explain it to you. Okay. He used this analogy. If rain is falling vertically in the frame of a reference of a person standing still, then to a person moving forwards, the rain will appear to arrive at an angle, requiring the moving observer to tilt their umbrella forwards. The faster your observer moves, the more tilt is needed. Okay? Okay. The net effect is that the light rays striking the moving observer from the sides in the stationary frame will come angle from ahead in the moving observer's frame. The effect is sometimes called the searchlight or headlight effect. And that is exaggerated in this picture. Okay. Now, to fully understand this, you're going to have to look up more physics, and to go into such depth with physics would take too long to put in a YouTube video. So I will tell you, Conspiracy Dude, HD, or Fury, whatever the fuck your faggot ass wants to go by these days, go and just look up the special relativity theory, and that's it. That's all you need. There's actual proof to that. That's more proven than your fucking Airy's failed experiment. Okay. Next one is the pendulum theory. The pendulum theory is the theory that during an eclipse, the gravitational pull was different, or it actually changes it. On June 22nd, 1990, the experiment you're saying is being put into question and also debunked by the torsion of pendulum, which was an experiment by T. Kusa. In the experiment, it was stated, and I quote, "Contrary to previous experiments, no increase in the period observed." Okay? And that was 1990, almost 100 years after your experiment was executed. Okay. The United Nations logo. Okay, he's saying basically the United Nations logo is depicting a flat world. The United Nations logo is looking downwards on top of the Earth with the North Pole in the center. Now, with the North Pole in the center, it has North America, South America. Then it has Asia, Africa, and Australia over here. Now, And obviously you can't, you know, it's whatever. But here's the thing, there's lines on the logo. The logo is actually saying that the earth is round. The lines depicted on the logo are longitude and latitude. What else would it mean? Latitude and longitude are both measured in degrees, and because we're not measuring temperature, we're obviously measuring the angle. Okay, there you go. I debunked everything you just said. Everything. Oh, and I did see that video where you said that Red Bull guy was jumping out that shuttle going down, and you could see that the earth was actually flat. I'm going to show you an example why camera tricks can also make the earth look flat. Yeah, so in the last video, you just saw how closely it made the clock frame actually look like it was flat, but actually it was round. Now this, you have to blow the same thing out of proportion, almost millions of times bigger. The Earth, okay, on the Earth's surface, for every 800 meters, the Earth actually curves 5 meters. So that's actually naked to the eye. If you think about it, if you break it down to the smallest measurement you can get, it's just not even equal to it. I'm sorry, but it's naked to the eye. Now we're gonna you talked about the railroad tracks and everything. By the time you get to that point, you were gonna have to go up hills, down things. The earth is a giant rock. It's a giant rock. And because of that, it's just no way you can actually say it's straight. It's nothing is flat about it. It's rock. It has mountains, it has hills, it has curves, it has canyons, it has everything. You can't say it's flat like that. At least you can't ever put a railroad track just straight all the way across. You have to build railroad tracks that are actually suspended. It actually is standing on top of forests, going through like over canyons. Nothing is ever going to be flat. So no, that's just not a good explanation. It's not a good argument. Your arguments are like a child, like questioning things. It's just not real. You just can't question things the way you question them. I have questions for you. Okay, so let's say the earth is flat, and you say gravity is always pulling downwards. What's pulling upwards to keep us here? Okay, the earth was made billions of years ago by constant clashing of asteroids. After the earth cooled down, it started making life. So I want you to think, how would it become flat like that? Now, the way you're depicting it is that the earth is in the center of the universe. That's the only way that we can have night and day. The earth's not rotating, you say, it's still. That would mean that the earth is the center of the universe and everything else is rotating around it, not the center. That was disproven when the telescope was invented, when we saw other planets, and I'm sorry, you just can't. You can't. The bigger the item is, the more gravitational pull it has. Because of the fact that the sun is millions and trillions times bigger than the earth is the only reason that it has the orbit, okay? And the galaxy and all that. It's just, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Just get over it. Stop. You're wrong. Let's say the earth is flat. Where's the core? How is the earth being heated? Greenhouse effect can only do so much. It would take millions of years for it to get to the temperature that it's at. We wouldn't be there yet. But I'm sorry, I just don't see how you're right in any way. If the earth was flat, where's the edge of the earth? If the earth was flat, how are people actually playing all the way around the earth? I don't understand where your logic is coming in. I just don't get it. But, I mean, if you watched the video, cool. If you didn't, I still want my $1,000, bitch.